There is an art to knowing when to stop. There's an art to knowing when you've put in the effort and you haven't succeeded and you're not going to succeed, and it's time to stop and move on and try something else. Ooh, it's Ranty runs with Steven. What will we see? Oh, look, a forest. Whoa, that was a tree. Ranty runs with Steven. What mood will he be? Happy or sad or really angry? Oh, Ranty runs with Steven. Come running with me. Da 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 da. Oh, hi. Welcome to a very marshy and windy ranty run. Today I'm going to be ranting about something I saw on the internet this week that made me mad. Roll intro. If you're not familiar with ranty runs are basically a run where I rant about something non-stop and continuously with no cuts while running. If the idea of listening to me rant and rave for potentially half an hour does not appeal to you, please leave and have a look around the channel, and maybe you'll find something that you would actually like to watch. But before I get into this rant, I also try and pick running routes so they're just hostile. Oh, before we get into this ranty run this week, and apologies if there's a lot of wind noise in this one, I just want to rant about last ranty rant. I got a little bit political. Some of you didn't like that. Ranty rants are just whatever comes into my head, and be that a little bit of politics, well, you can't escape from these things. But if something controversial comes up, I expect people to be respectful to each other. And there were a couple of people in the comments who were absolute mudlogs. There's a mudlog, it just lies there being useless. That's what I think of you in your comments. Absolute mudlogs to each other. Like there was no even attempt to understand the other person's point of view or anything like that. It was just immediately, you're an idiot, you're this, you're that, whatever. I've just got no time for that whatsoever. To me, it's unbelievably selfish, okay? It's unbelievably selfish. If you think you're right, okay? Hold on, can't see where I'm going. If you think that you're right, what that typically means is you think whatever it is you've decided is right is probably beneficial for everybody in some way. So why would you? So if you then instead of like trying to explain yourself to the opposition, just insult them, what that means is you've got no interest whatsoever in trying to share the truth with them or pass on something that might benefit their life. So you're just an utterly selfish mud puddle if that's your attitude. It just, it winds me up so much. You're just sitting there comfortable. What you want is just these people who, I am right and I will now bask in the glory of my stunning rightness, and from on high I will insult anyone beneath me because it makes me feel big and important, and you're really not. So be nice to people in the comments. If I see anything that's a direct insult, I just delete it. Like, disagree with each other, that's fine. Think what other people think is completely stupid, that's fine. I think what a lot of people, there's a lot of things that I think are completely idiotic and stupid that other people hold dear. But respect the person. Respect the person. So be nice to each other in the comments. But today's fairly non-controversial, aside from that slightly ranty beginning. Sorry, I was just checking something there. Okay, so what I want to rant about today is based on, ooh, over there. That's kind of nice. It's based on a Facebook, something I saw on the internet, as my dad would say. It was on the internet, Stephen. That's what I want to rant about. Something I saw online on a Facebook group with cameras, and it's something I see quite a lot. Ooh, this is nice down here. I should totally jump this river. And it's something I see quite a lot in camera groups. It really, really winds me up. So I'll tell you about it after I jump this. Okay, so what happened was, in this Facebook group, somebody posted a comment. They were talking about the new Sony A7C. And the comment was, just got the Sony A7, what lens should I buy? Or no, that wasn't it. It was, what is the best lens for this camera? Which is an idiotic question to ask, because asking what lens is the best, and this isn't my main rant, by the way, this is just an introductory, actually one of two introductory rants. Asking what lens or what's the best lens for a camera is, I don't want to say stupid question, because that's a bit unfair. It's an ignorant question, because it's kind of like asking which transport option should I use without telling anybody where you're going, what the terrain's like, what the weather's like, and whether or not you want to travel in a dramatic fashion or in comfort and style. So yeah, so that whole lens, there's no such thing as the best lens for a camera, but that's not my main rant. My main rant is this. In one of the comments beneath, someone had replied, they put following. Some people do that, they put like an F or something in the comment, confuses everybody, doesn't know what it means, but it means they're basically trying to get updates on that post. And they said, following, I've had the A7C for 2 months now and haven't taken it out of the packaging. I've been watching every video I can on it. I've been watching loads of tutorials and I've been watching reviews on all the lenses, but I haven't got around to buying one yet because I don't feel I have enough information. So that's why he's following the post. And sorry if it's really dark in here, it probably is. Is it really dark in here? Yes, it is really dark in here. Well, this is a rant, so you can still hear me. That's the main thing. Maybe you prefer not. But that just, that annoys me so much. It was the fact the guy who bought the camera hadn't used it, but was just like almost crippled by the fact that he wanted to get to a point where he knew everything before starting to use it. And I see this a lot. I see people, they'll buy whatever the newest and greatest, shiniest camera is that'll get you great this, great that, and then they never get around to using it because they don't feel they've got the right information to know how to make good videos yet. And it's infuriating because the fact is, it's infuriating because they've just spent a lot of money on something that's just sitting there being wasted. And it infuriates me because I fell into the same trap when I started doing video. Before I even bought the camera, I signed up to filmmaking school and I watched hours and hours and hours and hours of videos before I even picked up the camera. I probably spent, here's some more light, I probably spent 20 or 30 hours just learning theory, but never actually taking the camera out to shoot because I was worried that as soon as I wouldn't be able to get anything good when I went out. So expensive equipment just sitting there unused. See it all the time. People don't start, or the other mistake that they make is they spend a fortune on whatever the latest camera is. I've seen people spend £3,000, £5,000, £10,000 just to get started in photography or video. And then they go out and you always see them on the forums. It's like, why does my photographs not look as good as... And it's their first time ever using it. And they don't get it because they've seen someone else use the same equipment and it looked good, and they don't get why theirs doesn't look good. Look, the fact is, when you start something, anything, you will be absolutely terrible at it for a long time until you get good at it. In fact, you should embrace being terrible at it. And the only way to get good at something is not just to continually like read theory about it, it's actually to go out and do it. Take soldiers, for instance. You know, a trainee soldier, recruit, can sit all day learning war theory and reading The Art of War or whatever, but until a soldier actually picks up a rifle and learns how to use it, they're probably not going to do a very good job. Not sure why. Going to sort of war analogies here. I have been reading Vietnam War memoirs at the minute, so maybe that's why. Yeah, until they actually pick up the tools of the trade, you're going to be useless. You need to go out there. And I found that with doing videos. I've now uploaded 300 videos on YouTube. And I've learned so much just from getting out there, just from doing it, just from seeing what works, what doesn't work. So just stop being crippled by the need to get to a point before you start to do something. Now I'm talking about videos, but this applies to absolutely anything. It applies to running, applies to any hobby or interest you might want to start. You will be bad at it at the start. That's a fact. That's a fact. I've seen people, you know, start YouTube channels and they get upset because their initial videos don't get very many views, and they're worried that it might be because they suck. Well, the fact is they do suck. When you start, you're rubbish. You should have zero expectations when you upload a video, if you're uploading YouTube videos for the very first time. If you get more than 1 view or more than 0 views, that's a plus. That is a serious plus. And you need to do it repeatedly. You need to upload repeatedly before you're going to see any kind of serious results. I'm going to flip the camera around here for a bit and stop talking while I check my notes. Yes, I have notes for this ranty run. I've already completely gone off what I'd planned to rant about. Let me just squishy puddle. Also, there's somebody coming. I don't want to look like an idiot talking to myself. Hey. Okay, here's another kind of related point, and it's you can't overeducate yourself. The fact is, you don't need as much education as you think you do. Anybody that works in education is going to be horrified by me saying that. I don't want to go up there because it's really windy. I'll go up here and see where this goes. You don't need no education, or you don't need no more education. Stop watching filmmaker channels, and specifically stop watching, people will disagree with this, but that's fine. Stop watching really kind of cool, I sound like such a parent. Stop watching, I'm trying to think the best way to put this. Stop watching highly produced YouTube channels that make it look easy. Okay? Now, you'll go on, you'll find them entertaining, you'll be inspired, and that's great, and they set a standard. But the problem is, they set a standard that you haven't a hope of getting anywhere close to. And that's just a fact. So a lot of those channels, either they've just been doing it for a really long time, and that's how they can get down to the point where they have a process that's good enough to be able to create content that's produced to that level consistently. Or a lot of them actually have crews. A lot of them, if you look carefully, you'll see a lot of times there's someone else who's operating that camera, it's not them. And a lot of times they've got editing teams who do their edits for them and all that kind of stuff. You're just going out on your own. So when you just continually watch what in your head is one person with a camera out doing amazing stuff and you can't do it, it's really demoralizing. So, I mean, even now, I don't watch I don't watch any big kind of like filmmaking YouTuber channels. And the only time I watch them is maybe if I'm trying to get a review on a camera to see what they've done, because they're skilled filmmakers, so I want to see what the camera is capable of. But I tend not to really watch them, because every time I watch them I'm like, oh, why don't I do that, why don't I do that? And then I don't have the resources to do it effectively, so it doesn't get done. That's just demoralizing. So yeah, watch less of that. The other thing I would say to watch less of is watch less tutorials. It's I'm trying to get away from the wind in here. Let's go back this way. I'll maybe make this a shorter ranty run. Watch less tutorials, watch less gear reviews. I'm going very specifically into like filmmaking and videos and stuff here, but just start. Just start. Just get whatever you need. If you're gonna start running, buy a cheap pair of shoes, buy some shorts, go to the easiest nearest forest you can get to if you want a trail run, or just step out your front door and run from your house. And don't plan to run a mile, run half a mile. Or if you're making videos, buy whatever it is you need to get started. There's no reason you can't get, I mean, for about £750 you can get everything you need to start off making really high quality videos. I'd say that's a good kind of price. Some would say lower, some would say higher, but you can buy the Sony ZV-1 like that, and that is an all-in-one solution for making fantastic videos. And that's the camera I probably used the most in the last year. And what happens is when you go to these filmmaking channels, they're presenting you with cameras like the Sony a7S Mark III, which I bought because I'm a professional and I need it, but it's a camera that costs over £3,000. And you see all this stuff and you think, I need that to start. And it's just not true. Get whatever the minimum is you need and start. And if you're making videos, just shoot something. This is another thing I see which drives me nuts in forums. It's people coming on and saying, I'd love to start a YouTube channel, but I don't know what to make videos of. If that's you, if you're sitting thinking, I want to start a YouTube channel, but I don't know what to make videos of, you need to seriously question why you're even considering it in the first place. Because if it's just because you like the idea of having a YouTube channel, because you like the idea of people watching your videos and giving you kudos, and I'm such an old person, and things like that, you're going to be so disappointed because no one's going to watch your videos at the start. That's just the wrong reason for doing it. Make videos because you want to put something of value back into the world, something that people can enjoy, learn from, educate themselves with. Don't do it just because you want a following or something like that, or because you think brand deals are fun, because like everything else, it eventually just becomes a job to a certain degree. There's definitely benefits over other kinds of jobs, but it will eventually just become work. So you need to be doing it for the right reason to start with. So yeah, what was I saying? Oh yes, make something short. If you don't know what to make videos about, don't even think about it. It should be obvious to you what it is you want to make videos about before you get started. And if it's not, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. You know, maybe you have a hobby like running. Share your hobby. Maybe you like to bake, cook, cycle, play games, whatever. Make videos about that and start by making something short and upload it fast. That is key. That is really, really key. It's the same with running. You want to start running, you get out and you go for a walk, and when you feel like running, you run. And it's enjoyable, because running is enjoyable. And when it starts to get uncomfortable, you stop and you walk until you feel better again, and then you run again, and then you stop and you walk. That's how you start running. So, and you, by doing running in small amounts. So if you want to make videos, make really short videos. Don't start by thinking, I'm going to make a 15-minute lifestyle vlog. I'm kind of running in circles here to avoid the wind. Lifestyle vlog today. Just decide I'm going to make a nice 3-minute montage of me doing something, and do it in one day, edit it and upload it. Or just, if you're confident in front of the camera, just chat about something that's important to you for 2 minutes, set yourself a timer and get some footage that matches what I'm reinforcing what you say and layer over the top. Upload that. That's how to begin. But there's two things you need to do if you're going to do that. The first one is you need to get it online fast. Do not sit on videos, because if you sit on them, you will never upload them. You will not, because I've done this. You shoot the video and you think, I'll edit that next week, or I'll add more to it, I'll improve it. Forget about perfectionism. Make something fast, make something terrible fast, rubbish fast, and upload it. But the trick is to not just obsess then over the results, because at this point, you know, you probably are rubbish I'm making videos at this point. So get straight back in, make the next one, upload once a week, twice a week. If you want to get good at making videos, you have to do it regularly, weekly, a couple of times a week. It needs to happen a lot. If you decide I'll make one video, see how it goes, and then make another one in 2 months' time, you'll never gain the momentum to get properly going. Just make videos, make lots of videos. I'm just gonna run into the wind and hopefully you can hear me. If it gets too windy up here, I'll just like cut this. I'm gonna flip around again because somebody's coming and they'll think I'm an idiot. Okay, so I think my final point here is that there's a lot of benefit in having really low expectations of yourself and starting from there, because then if you have low expectations when you start, every day is a PB. Start with, I think a good thing, the best way to start is to start with low expectations of how good you are, but high expectations of your work effort and your productivity. You start from there, you'll never get disappointed, because you know what you make is always going to be better than what you expected you make, and then you put the effort in to keep learning, keep trying, keep making. It's just going to keep getting better and better and better. And that's all I want to rant about today. I don't know where I got that attitude from, because the attitude I see thrown about a lot is you have to be number one, you have to make the best, be the best at whatever it is you do, and that's the attitude you start with. I think that's complete nonsense. That's just a recipe for setting you up for disappointment, failure, and feeling like you're totally useless when you can't actually do that. Actually, I know where it comes from, but probably comes from my parents. My parents, when I was younger, never encouraged me to be the best, or you know, to be like a top achiever or anything like that. I was always told, just do your best, and that's all you can do. And that was as far as sort of their motivational encouragement got. In fact, my mom at times has actively told me, if you find things difficult, just give up. which I've gone back and forth on. On one hand, the advice was, it was advice when I was running my first marathon. It was, you feel yourself getting tired, just give up, just give up. Don't let your pride get in the way. My mom's gonna kill me because she watches these videos. But actually, don't end on a negative note, but sometimes I have started and given up on so many things. And I do think there is an art, I don't know if you can still hear me, but there is an art to knowing when to stop. There's an art to knowing when you've put in the effort and you haven't succeeded and you're not going to succeed, and it's time to stop and move on and try something else. And that's something I always keep in my mind every time I start something new. It's, when do I know I need to stop doing this? And that's a fine art in itself. So yeah, I'll leave you with that encouragement. If you want to start anything, just start it, and know when to give up. Hope you enjoyed this little ranty run. I just found a trail over there I haven't seen before, so I'm going to go and run it. Have a look around the channel. You might find more positive videos on here, or you'll find videos about technology, drones, outdoor stuff, blah 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 blah. Have a look around. You might not be able to hear me. Bye bye. And be nice to each other in the comments, or I'll come slap you in your sleep or something.